A fisherfolk from Mindanao, a vaccine scientist from Bangladesh, and an American humanitarian for Southeast Asia. They have one thing in common. They are transformative leaders receiving this year's Ramon Magsaysay Awards. And one of them is joining us tonight, Steven Muncy, who is championing humanitarian and peace-building causes across Asia-Pacific, including the Philippines. Steven, congratulations on the Ramon Magsaysay Award.
Thank you, Rico, and thank you for having me on the show.
What does this recognition, Steven, mean to you and your organization, the Community and Family Services International?
I think it means we will be able to do more, better, for many more people in Southeast Asia. You know, the recognition is for the we, not the me. So many of us working together to try to improve the situation of people that are displaced by persecution, armed conflict, and disaster. This gives us a platform to do more, to raise the profile of the people we're trying to serve, and also to train more people in Southeast Asia to help people affected by these kind of situations.
Steven, share with us a bit of your journey. What made you decide to dedicate your life to humanitarian work?
Well, you know, Rico, I studied social work in the US, and in 1979, I was reading and seeing on television about the boat people from Vietnam and the people fleeing Cambodia, the genocide of Cambodia. I had never been outside my country. I didn't know much about Asia, but for some reason, my heart went to those people. And I looked for opportunities to come and serve. There was a journeyman missionary program. I applied, I got accepted. And there were two options. One was go to Thailand to work with refugees. The other was to go to the Philippines. I chose the Philippines because I found it interesting. At that time, the Philippines was willing to provide protection and assistance to refugees from other countries when they desperately needed it. But at the same time, the Philippines was, unfortunately, producing refugees from this country. I found that dilemma quite interesting and came as a volunteer for 2 years, and it's now been more than 40.
Yes, the Philippines has been your home now for 4 decades, Steven. And here in the country, you are responding to the humanitarian disaster, the Battle of Marawi in 2017. Tell us, how are you providing livelihoods and other assistance to some 40,000 people displaced by this battle?
Well, you know, Rico, I'm very blessed to have a great team of Filipinos from Mindanao, from other parts of the country, but mainly from Mindanao. And many of them themselves were displaced by armed conflict, including the siege of Marawi. They have come forward and said, we want to help our own people. They have skills, they have energy, they are resilient. So we pulled them together into the organization. We provided some training, guidance, and supervision, and they are on the front line. They are making the difference even during this difficult time of the pandemic.
And your extraordinary work and your group has really transformed the lives of millions in Southeast Asia, Steven, affected by war and natural disasters. But tell us, what has been the most challenging humanitarian work for you and your group over the past 40 years?
I would have to say the situation at the moment is in Myanmar, which is very complicated for many, many people. Prior to Myanmar, it would be in Mindanao, where we had all-out war in the year 2000 that displaced 930,000 people.
And you and your group as well, Steven, have initiated a program that has enabled more than 300 individuals from the Philippines, Vietnam, Myanmar, and Indonesia to get advanced university degrees in social work.
That's right. You know, there are many social workers in the region who want to help other people, but many of them are not able to go for higher degrees owing to the cost of the degree or the location of the schools that produce master's programs. So we've been able to bring education to them and enable them to get master's degrees, which means not only would they be able to deliver services directly to affected people, but they will be able to design and run and manage programs.
But tell us, Steven, how challenging has it been to do what you do during this ongoing health crisis?
Well, we've been blessed because the Omnibus Code of the Philippines has a provision for humanitarian actors, and we have taken that by the neck and made every opportunity to serve and continue to do what we need to do. Government has been very helpful in that regard. That I'm speaking in national, regional, and local government. Everyone has understood that people who have been displaced by armed conflict need to be served, even if the health situation is complicated.
And Steven, just taking a look at your resume, you have achieved so much in Southeast Asia and in your personal career. And you've been living outside your own country, the United States, for more than 4 decades. You're based here in Manila. Don't you miss home?
You know, for me, home is where the people I serve, the people I work with are. I say this often, and you may get tired of hearing me say this, but I think we should make our hearts a home for others. The Filipinos have made their heart a home for me, and I'm eternally grateful for that.
Steven, thank you so much for your contributions to our humanitarian causes here in the Philippines and around Southeast Asia. And congratulations on the Ramon Magsaysay Award.
Thank you so much, Rico.
And now here